Hello, welcome to the introduction, a very brief introduction to the Informatics automated tool. We're going to take you through the sequential steps of how the tool gets initiated, and the moment the tool is initiated, what are the reference points that we have. And this is a reference page which shows you the different keys with which the automated tool can be configured. So a lot of customization is possible, and that's a good promise. So let's go ahead and get started with the first functionality. We're going to talk about abbreviations. It's being a big challenge in the healthcare domain, especially when the chart audits happen. The abbreviations are present in the patient files, and some of them are not approved. So how do we control them? There are thousands of man hours that are being spent. So here we have brought in this concept. The script controls the de-abbreviation part. Now we'll quickly go ahead and see what are the different features that we have incorporated into the script. With the strike of the last character, now we are able to de-abbreviate that particular phrase or introduce the de-abbreviation phrase for that particular abbreviation. Now we also do have the case control. For example, if I enter the same abbreviation in uppercase, it gets de-abbreviated in the uppercase. So similarly, it gives us a lot of flexibility when we go ahead and type in the abbreviations, and the user will not be able to type in the abbreviations. Instead, it gets de-abbreviated. Now there's a very important question. There are so many words that are common to the verbatims that we use in a daily life, like us. Now, if every time when I type in us, if it gets de-abbreviated, now that will be a problem. So the trigger for de-abbreviation also can be controlled. For example, I would show you, demonstrate again here. I type in US, and after that I have a trigger key, that is the tab, and only then the de-abbreviation happens. So we do have a control on what should trigger the abbreviation and what shouldn't trigger the abbreviation. For example, we use the word top in our daily conversations and also in our communications. But if you have to use this as an abbreviation, then you use the trigger key, and now you see it gets de-abbreviated. And I can give you a few more instances of the common words, okay, and how they can be de-abbreviated. All right, now a most common issue that we see is the Control C and Control V and Control X option, which is commonly used in the digital era. Now that is causing a huge number of issues because many of them are just copying and pasting content into the clinical notes. So what we have done is we have gone ahead and configured or restricted the copy functionality. Not only copy functionality, you will not be able to even cut the content from the application, and you will not be able to paste into the application. So this kind of restriction is also possible with this particular script. As a quick demonstration, we have covered two different functionalities. Now we are going to the third functionality, the most important thing. Now these are the spelling mistakes, okay, the misspelled words. For example, that you see on the screen, the user has typed in absorption, okay, but now the moment I press the space key, okay, now it gets auto-corrected. Now this is very different with the spell check that we have. The spell check gives the user an option to go ahead and mark that as a correct spelling, but here this script will not allow you to mark it as a correct spelling. Instead, it will go ahead and insert the correct spelling. So another example to show you quickly, okay, how the mistyped words would get auto-corrected. Okay, so now there are some dangerous abbreviations. Okay, now why would I call them dangerous abbreviations or abbreviations of high impact? Is because they can be interpreted or misinterpreted for two or more different terms. For example, I'm going to type in the short form of zinc phosphate. Okay, quickly the script identifies, okay, the the input, and it gives you two options, to correct and to script and to skip it. Okay, the moment I click on skip, okay, the text that you've entered will not be entered into the chart. Okay, instead, okay, now if you go ahead and choose the option correct, okay, it is notified that the correct spelling has been incorporated, and now the de-abbreviated version of zinc sulfate, okay, is introduced. Okay, and the same goes with mistyped or different characters. If you type now ZNS04, I'm going to type in now. It also recognizes O and 0, and then it will go ahead and help you to put in the right content. And another striking feature we would like to let you know is, if I have to go ahead and put in a large insert of text, or a standardized text, I would say. Now I'm going to put in a history of present illness. Okay, now I have got the huge bunch of text over here, but that has been abbreviated with HOPI. Now I do have the whole text over here getting inserted. What this does is, this would go ahead and standardize the content into your clinical notes. The quality of documentation is accurate, and the amount of information that is required, the base minimum information that is required, is always present for you. So on the regulatory perspective, you'll be covered, and on the coding perspective, you'll be covered, and on the clinical perspective also, you have the liberty to go ahead and make the relevant changes. Now, why do we have to do this? So that the documentation is faster, quicker, accurate, and with minimal errors, so that it helps the coders to pick up the content in the right places. Right information is always present, and for the subsequent care provider, they would also know which information is always present in which section. So this brings in a kind of a standardization of documentation, faster documentation, accurate documentation, right? So this is one of the examples I was trying to explain. Okay, when you select a particular misspelled word, okay, the editor gives you an option to go ahead and either select the given option, or you can mark it as add to dictionary. Now, if it is a wrong spelling and you've added to the dictionary next time is not going to go ahead and mark that as incorrect spelling. But this is where the script is very, very helpful. Okay, now if you go ahead and type in a wrong spelled word, the script would autocorrect it. So this is a quick insight of the different features that we have. Next time we will dive deep into different features of this particular tool, and thank you for tuning in, and just stay tuned and stay tight for the next updates. Thank you all.